Hi friends, what you're about to hear is us breaking down UFC 249's main card. If you'd like to add to the conversation in any way, feel free to comment down below, or consider subscribing, liking, or emailing countrymedicine@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. For those of you maybe watching or have DJ Noob, you said I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but this is very interesting. What we are talking about, DJ, what we're talking about, Glenn, is we're talking about UFC 249, which takes place tomorrow, starting at 7 PDT or 10 p.m. Eastern. And this is likely the biggest thing in sports since COVID-19. It's a pretty big deal because,
Correct.
I mean, COVID-19 has been all-encompassing, right? It's stopped a whole bunch of businesses. Uh, it's made billion-dollar conglomerates not operate. It's made the whole economy stop. And so for this fight to happen, it could not only be a huge morale boost, but it could also like determine what other leagues do in response. You know, if they see that this works, and God willing, if no one gets tested positive in the next couple of weeks, I think that's the biggest determinant of success. Wouldn't you say, Eric?
Yeah.
Is the fact that if
Right.
people, if the, this event and the results that ensue, yeah, it's big for the sporting world, but what will be even bigger will be a massive, massive success. And it's almost to the point where, like, on your head be it is if someone gets tested positive. That's the number one thing we don't want as far as this event goes, because like everything is a success if people don't get tested positive in the next couple of weeks. That means this fight is a success. This whole card is a success, no matter the result. And it's weird because no other UFC event, no other sporting event has ever been slated kind of like this before. But yeah. So Greg Hardy and Jorgen De Castro. What do you know about De Castro, Eric?
No, absolutely nothing.
He looks familiar. Who's he fought that we know?
You looked them up? Actually, I might as well look up the weigh-ins right now. But yeah.
They both weighed in. Shoes. Greg Hardy. Yeah, because of heavyweight. Greg Hardy comes in at a whopping 15 pounds over, 265. De Castro comes in at 250. I think I've seen De Castro before. He's stand up. I think.
Okay.
I think. I don't know, but you don't know hardly anything about this. But before you cut out,
Yeah.
we were talking about Greg Hardy and just the money that they pumped into him. Would you say it's been worth it or not really?
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how the money is. All I know is that you know, just most important. I don't care.
Well, he has a chance to validate it come tomorrow. I don't think anybody's pulling for him in particular, but
It's just a strange. I don't know. I don't want to say marketing scheme, but it's just a strange. Why have this? This is another talk, But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think if that fight goes well, like any heavyweight bout, I feel like it could be good for the UFC. It could be good for the sport if it at least makes the ratings go up. If it
Yeah. But this is a situation where, I mean, Greg Hardy, how many more fans is he bringing on when you have people like Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, Henry Cejudo?
Probably more. And the reason I say that is because he came from football, dude. That's the biggest sport in America.
That's the biggest sport. Yeah.
And so if he starts to go up the ladder, we can maybe start to see more come over, which is so unlikely because of how different the sports are. But if you're there, you may as well go for it, right? So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Greg Hardy is not ranked in the top 15 in the UFC, and he's fighting someone that doesn't have a Wikipedia page. So he better win impressively.
All right. Well, with that, we go to Jeremy Stephens and Calvin Kattar. Featherweight bout.
Featherweight bout, yeah.
Jeremy Stephens,
Kevin
we've seen.
The thing about this guy, Calvin Kattar, his most impressive fight was actually a loss. He fought Zabit. You know who Zabit is?
Yeah.
Zabit's a freaking monster. So I think his best performance came from a loss, and now he has another chance to kind of prove himself with a contender or a former contender, at least with Jeremy Steve. Who missed weight in this? Looks like it's a catch weight. Do you know who missed weight? Somebody missed weight.
Did somebody? Are you saying somebody missed weight out of the whole lineup, or?
Yeah. No, somebody missed weight. This Stevens.
Let me see.
Stevens and Cater fight. Somebody missed weight.
9 hours ago, preparing for UFC 249 against Calvin Kattar, Stevens came in at 150.5 pounds. He missed weight by 4.5. What does that mean, Eric? What does that mean for the fight? Does that mean the money has been split even more drastically, or is the fight even going to happen?
The fight's still going to happen. It's considered a catch weight. Jeremy Stevens has to give up, I believe, 20% of his purse.
Okay.
To Calvin Kattar,
which is a big deal.
Looks like Jeremy Stevens missed weight.
Yeah, he missed weight by 0.5. That's crazy.
It's not by 0.5, dude. It's by
4.5.
I think it's 3.5 because the weight limit for if you're gonna fight at featherweight is 146.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess we got 4.5.
What do you know about these two fighters, Eric? Can you tell us a little more about?
I just know Jeremy Stevens is a seasoned veteran. He's been in the game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is a killer. Great stand-up. Great overall game. Calvin Kattar is a up-and-coming kind of star.
Yeah.
And I think this fight is kind of get him, like, if he wins, is kind of, tailor-made to get him over the top.
Over the top.
To move. Yeah.
So it's a pretty crucial fight for either side, right? Pretty evenly matched, would you say?
First of all, it's always a crucial fighter. It's always a crucial fight for all of them. Jeremy Stevens ranked number 7. Kattar.
Yeah.
What do you think, dude? Do you have a prediction for this?
I don't know. I feel like if it's a catch weight and if Jeremy doesn't decide to suddenly lose, do a major cut overnight, I feel like the side might be on Jeremy. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's only, I really only say because yeah, I don't know. Style-wise, do you think they're both consistent? They're both kind of stand-up featherweight, like fast featherweight, or is it a mixture of both?
How did this win? Yeah, perhaps. I don't have a whole information on Calvin Kattar,
mm-hmm.
but I know that he's up and coming, and he's the next dude if he wins this fight.
Yeah, I don't really have a prediction, dude. I think gut feeling, I'd go with Jeremy Stevens. Because that's the name that's a little more prominent, at least to me. But yeah, either way. What about you, bud?
I'm going to go Calvin Kattar just because I want that young, new, new blood to come through and to shine. Young
blood. All right. Well, every single thing we've talked about up until now has been, it's been great, but it's been, the baby bone. We're getting into the real 3, the top 3 now, man.
Geez. This is gonna get. Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
3 Hall of Famers.
Main event, co-main event, and then the. Oh, jeez, this is nasty. Okay, let's go.
All right, let's go. We got heavyweight bout again. Francis Ngannou, and oh my gosh, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Where's he from?
Looks like he's from
Suriname.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you know anything about him, like as far as, because the recognizable name here, it seems like a theme throughout this UFC has been recognizable name and maybe not only recognizable name to UFC discourse community, like inside.
Dude, I knew about him because he fought Alistair Overeem. He was losing the whole fight off of points, and then in the 5th round, he knocked out Alistair Overeem and busted his leg.
No way! Is that the guy that gave Overeem that famous, that's what Overeem's known for now? It's just that big old gash on the side of his lip, right? Basically.
No, it was his lip. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oof, that changes
all of his
things.
wins, all of his wins in the UFC have come from knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive. Early knockout too, except for the over. The over one came in the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this dude seems like a legit. Oh, dude, this is crazy, man. This dude is 6'2", 250. That's a thick boy, you know.
I mean, Ngannou's 6'4", 250.
Yes. Not yeah. But
That's crazy.
being that big, a knockout artist, and guess what? You have to fight Francis Ngannou, who's also a knockout artist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus, man.
But with this fight, it's slated to be fireworks. But the thing with heavyweight is, would you say they're stand-up for the most part?
Both of these guys, yes.
Okay,
Stand up.
stand-up heavyweights tend to gas out very quickly. Like, do you
Maybe
remember the
perhaps.
last? Did you remember the last Ngannou fight? Who did he fight last?
Ngannou fought. I remember he fought Derek. Boring fight of all time. But the last person Ngannou fought was JDS, Junior Dos Santos.
Junior Dos Santos. When was that? When? Because I think I remember that, but.
It was June last year.
Okay, I remember it being. Yeah, I remember him like gassing out. Ngannou won. Right?
No, if you think about a fight, it was Derek.
Fascinating. Yeah,
Because
Ngannou.
him and
Man.
Derek Lewis fought, and that was supposed to be fireworks, but it ended up a boring fest.
The storyline behind this is if Rozenstruik, is that how you pronounce his name?
Rozenstruik.
Rozenstruik, if he wins, he might get a title shot. If
If
Ngannou
any
wins,
of these guys win,
I know.
If any of these guys win, that's a title shot.
which is a
Anyone
pretty
can
big
win.
deal for Rozenstruik. If Ngannou wins, he's going up against Stipe. That's the fight to make after this if he wins, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like, do you think it'll go? Is this gonna go 3 or 5? 3 or? It's not the
this
co-main, so it's
fight?
3. Do you think it'll go 3?
3 or 5? Oh no. This fight isn't going 2. I'll tell you that right now.
So you predict inside like 2.5.
I'm taking Francis Ngannou knockout.
Tell us a little more about Francis Ngannou, like, because I feel like his notoriety has gone up in the past like 2 years and a half. What kind of catapulted that, and why do people inside the UFC now put him in such regard? In your
No,
opinion?
because he knocks everybody out.
Sure.
Knocks everybody out in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
This dude, I don't know what country, somewhere. He grew up fucking shoveling sand.
Cameroon.
Yeah, you go straight from that. And this dude is knocking you out in the first round. I'm picking him. Okay.
First round.
It-
First round
First
KO.
No, I don't want to predict that it's going to be a first round KO just because that's his pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But also just kidding. I'm going to pick Francis Ngannou first round
Knockout. While we're on the subject, I'm gonna go with Ngannou just because he's given me again nothing to doubt. But
Jesus, yeah.
I have a little bit of a question with that. Do you like 5-round fights or 3-round fights more? Which format do you think is like if you had to make an overarching like best? Which format yields the best like product as far as fighting?
I don't know. I mean,
goes?
it's all good, man. It depends on what you want. It depends on the fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on who's fighting in what situation or what.
Yeah.
I prefer. Jeez, I don't know.
Well, because the only reason I ask, and we're moving into the 5-round fights right now, but like 5 rounds, if you're not lightweight, I don't know, because
There's it's everywhere, dude. It's everywhere.
yeah,
Endurance.
it's just a lot of endurance. 5 rounds, 5 minutes, right? Whereas it's 3 rounds. Is it 3 rounds, 5 minutes?
I mean, it's probably more so with heavyweights, I guess. I mean, heavyweight, there was, what is it? I think Kane and JDS has gone 5 rounds. Randy Couture, Tim Sylvia has gone 5 rounds.
It's just so dangerous to put a heavyweight in 5
Yeah, it
rounds
is,
of that
yeah.
shit, man. It's
There's not as many great fights 5 rounds or 5 rounds in general.
mm-hmm.
You know, the heavier you go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always because whenever I gather with friends that maybe don't watch as much as you or I do, it's
Yeah.
almost like if it's all incumbent upon the main event because the main event has to deliver its 5 rounds because up until the
Yeah.
point if we're watching 3 round fights, right, we're watching a consistent pace, just like 1 2 3. Okay, you have 3 rounds to do what you do,
Yeah.
if that. Then we get into the 5 round fights, and all of a sudden the night seems to really slow down, which maybe
Yeah.
is the point.
It's something about knowing that their preparation is different. You know,
Hmm.
to prepare for 5 rounds, I think that's
Yeah, it's a different mode of preparation as far as cardio and yeah. Anyway, so
yeah.
you're going with Ngannou. We're both going with
I'm going with
Ngannou.
Ngannou. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Flying colors. Yeah.
Flying colors. Okay, now we move into the King of Cringe versus the wannabe King of Cringe, Dominic Cruz and
No,
Henry
Dominic Cruz is
Cejudo.
not the wannabe king of cringe. That Dominic Cruz is the smartest brain and then easily.
You cut out a little bit there. What did you say? He's easily the what?
He has the smartest way. Dominic Cruz.
The smartest
Easily.
mind in the end?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
In MMA. Listen to him talk, dude. This dude is so knowledgeable. He's so smart. He's the way he fights, man. It's like all footwork. Elusiveness,
Yeah.
striking.
Yeah, I
You can't
guess
beat
if you're fighting at bantamweight, you've really got to put it all out there. If you're the king of cringe or not, like it's just like you are what you are. You have to like, it's fireworks or nothing. With bantamweight, I've noticed it's like you have to market yourself in a certain way. Who would you say the greatest bantamweight of all time is?
I would say Dominic Cruz.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So Dominic Cruz comes in at 18-1.
No, it's not 18-1. I think he's lost twice. He's lost to Uriah Faber and he's lost to Cody Garbrandt.
Well, the record says here. Okay. And then Cejudo comes in at 15-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cejudo's lost to, I believe he's lost to Demetrius Johnson, who is the greatest flyweight champion.
And then he wound up beating him, right? Afterward in a rematch.
Yeah, I think it was a split decision.
He beat Mighty
Which,
Mouse. Yeah.
He beat Mighty Mouse, yeah.
They have a 4-inch reach difference between them. Cruz is at 5'8". Cejudo's at 5'4".
Yeah.
But this is Henry Cejudo we're talking about. Cringe aside, it's like he's
Yeah.
the overwhelming champ in this picture, right here.
I mean, he's a champ, dude. He has 2 belts.
Where do your allegiances lie, Eric? It seems like you're all Dominic Cruz.
Dominic Cruz. I think Dominic Cruz is gonna his game plan, his fighting style, his footwork is gonna be nothing that Henry Cejudo's ever seen before. Henry Cejudo's gonna come into this fight like, what the fuck is going on? You know?
You say that even after you just said, and not to disagree with you, but you say that after saying that Mighty Mouse was the best. Period.
Mighty Mouse is the greatest flyweight champion. Mighty Mouse also doesn't fight in the UFC anymore. Mighty Mouse fights
in
Pride.
one. Yeah, Pride.
Oh, I'm sorry, 1.
Is it one? Yeah. I don't know, Cejudo. Man, it's one of those not AKA, but who's the umbrella brand of Cejudo? It's the same representative as freaking Khabib, Ali or whatnot. It's
Ali De La Abzid.
Yeah. It's just champion after champion after champion. You kind of wonder which one's gonna crumble first. And I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it is Cejudo. I think he's in for a hell of a surprise. With,
I mean,
with Dominic
Cejudo
Cruz.
Cejudo can keep that damn that 120 belt. Keep it as long as you want, man. Like, keep that alive as you can, because the UFC wants to get rid of it. But 135, dude, Dominic Cruz is like, I don't know, man.
The UFC
We'll
wants
see.
to get rid of it. What do you mean?
Meaning, what is it called again? Flyweight, 125 flyweight.
Yeah.
the UFC wants to get rid of it because it's just not exciting. There's no ratings to it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
But they do have a champion, Henry.
it's a bantamweight title.
But yeah, I'm saying, I'm talking about. They do have a
Oh.
champion with Henry Cejudo, who's a champ, who's a double champ,
Mm-hmm.
also with the weight class above. That's probably the only reason why, they're staying afloat.
Mm-hmm.
But this fight, I don't know, man. This is the only one that's kind of unanimous for me. It's kind of like, I think Dominic Cruz is gonna fuck the suit up.
Really?
He's gonna fuck him up as far as maybe not damage-wise, but confusion, movement.
Mm-hmm.
Henry
Dominic-
Cejudo's never seen a fighter before. And also Dominic Cruz. Look, Henry Cejudo has a gold medal. He has an Olympic gold medal in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And Dominic Cruz is a stud wrestler too, so that kind of can cancel out.
Yeah. Well, we know what Henry Cejudo is, but like with Dominic Cruz, was he originally supposed to fight Cejudo? Because it says here he isn't ranked, but his record says otherwise. Just off the eye test and just off someone who's maybe looking and browsing through the website and the card. Like, what about?
I mean, look.
Can you explain a little more detail why it's unique, at least to you?
What do you mean?
Like you said of all the fights that are happening in this card, you said that this particular fight between Cruz and Cejudo is unique just because of the styles of play and then just how even they are. Is that what you're saying?
Unique. I didn't say unique, but I think as far as like unanimously, like my decision on who's gonna, like that's the biggest unanimous decision for me.
Mm-hmm.
Being Dominic.
Biggest unanimous decision against a champion.
Yeah, and I don't mean unanimous decision for the fight. I mean like unanimously for me to take a prediction.
Yeah. Man, I didn't expect you to go that route at all. I thought you were still gonna go with Cejudo, but
dude,
I think we all know who we want to win. It's gonna be Cruz for sure. It's because kind of tired. Cejudo, but
I'm kind of sick of Cejudo talk. Dominic Cruz is just like when he's 100%. There's no fighter like him as far as like I said, awkwardness, movement.
He has the reach. So it could happen, but more than likely it's gonna if what you're saying about their takedown and their wrestling
it can cancel out,
repertoire is anything to go by. We're gonna see some fireworks there. All right. So you're gonna pick Cruz. I'm gonna be a contrarian to yours. I'm gonna go with Cejudo, just because he is the champ. Even though I want him to lose, but it's okay. I shouldn't say that. But it's like I don't know enough about Cruz to make it the way you're making it sound. It sounds like a landslide, but to me, it's like I don't.
Yeah, I'm not saying fight is a landslide. I'm saying my decision is a landslide.
Gotcha. But emotional decision is no brainer. I think which is why it's such a marketable fight. It's because people want to see Cejudo lose.
I'm sick of seeing Henry Cejudo talk. You know what's funny?
What's up?
What's funny is that the co-main event, Henry Cejudo, Dominic Cruz, is for an actual championship, for a real undisputed championship,
and the
main event is for an interim belt, and they are still. Which I guess is a perfect segue into.
Was it always going to be?
Right?
Was it always going to be? Because when Tony and Khabib, when they were announced, that was going to be a championship fight too. But.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like you're going with the main. You have one of the main. You may as well maintain it, right? You may as well maintain that's the main anyway. So now that brings us to the main. The one that should have been Khabib. But now Justin Gaethje comes in and could change things. It could change.
He can literally. He's stirring the pot. He can mess it up for everybody right now.
He could. I spent a good chunk of today just looking at footage of him, because admittedly I haven't seen a whole lot of him fight. But like 3 fights, he's very stand up. But the narrative around him.
Meaning his primary of fighting is stand up.
Yes.
It has been, yeah.
It has been, but what seems to be the narrative around him is that he has wrestling just in his back pocket, like really good
Yeah,
wrestling in his back
it's funny
pocket.
because wrestling is in his back, but also wrestling is his best weapon.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, his wrestling is top
Do
notch.
you know any other fighter like that their best tool is something they barely use, or
Yeah.
they don't really
Um,
use?
yeah, there's it's BJ Penn. There's Johnny Hendricks.
Mhm.
I can go on and on. I'm just gonna get mad.
Uh, you and BJ Penn, you're gonna get mad no matter what.
I love
Um,
I love BJ Penn so much, and I'm not gonna.
so yeah, Justin Gaethje and Tony Ferguson.
Yes.
I see. Unless Gaethje like really shocks me, I'm still going with. I was going with Tony over Khabib in the first place, but it's
Oh,
yeah, but it's interesting
bold.
I know it's bold, but Ferguson, it's just like he's so enigmatic. And can you think of a scene that fits him more than what's going on now as far as COVID-19? Him being
Yeah.
ballsy, him not giving any.
not affected.
Yeah,
Not affected at all.
Not affected. He's not. He doesn't give. And with the fight being the way it is, no crowd, we're gonna get to hear a lot of what these like guys are saying to each other, and a lot of like. And so I'm just thinking scenario wise. I mean, Tony won tough, right?
Yeah.
And then
He did, yeah.
just the stuff that's gonna come out of his mouth at Gaethje, I don't think Gaethje has ever seen, ever.
Yeah, you could say that. Justin
Just the
Gaethje
mental
also,
game, just the mental game that Tony puts on you, you know.
Perhaps.
Perhaps okay, but then on top with that, the fighting, I think the actual fighting side of things that I've seen of Gaethje, he takes a lot of punches. He takes a lot.
He takes all the punches. Yes.
You can't do that against Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, perhaps.
You cannot
also,
take
I mean,
the amount of punches that I've seen him take.
Gaethje also, I mean, Gaethje sends, he's returning it too. You know?
He is returning it, but like, is he returning it to the degree that we've known Tony to dish out?
I don't know, man.
Because both of them have wrestling in their back pocket. Right? I mean, takedown to takedown. Who's better, in your opinion?
Both of them, it cancels out. You can't compare them. Cancels out.
Why is that?
Because they're both elite wrestlers. Like, when you're that good,
Mm-hmm.
even if someone is slightly better than you, there's no point to
Mhm.
test it out in an MMA fight.
We saw Gaethje say that I think in the weigh-in and the weeks leading up to the weigh-in that he said this fight is going to have to end in 12 minutes for him to win.
Yes. Yes.
Do you agree with that?
A little bit, yeah, because Gaethje, good. This dude he's throwing haymakers. He's trying to finish you. And after 12 minutes of doing that, that's probably his decline in like slowing down, being tired.
Which Tony Ferguson this is why I said originally Tony it would be a hell of a battle. And I think it could still happen. But the reason I said Tony just had my vote against Khabib was just because of the fact that he can take the blows, he can roll with the blows, he can dish it out, and he has the cardio to back it up. 5 rounds, you know.
Yes.
It's like cardio-wise, who is better than him in the UFC? I can't think of
No
any.
one.
I can't think of
Nobody.
any. You know.
Frankie Edgar.
Yeah. Again,
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
that could change tomorrow. That could all change. One sweeping blow from Justin Gaethje. Can you kind of explain though, like what makes? I see Gaethje and I think, man, what a great fight him and Conor would be. Just like the
Yeah.
volume of
Maybe.
punches thrown and like the style.
Yeah.
It would be a good like knock on knock. But you know what? People know at this point what Tony Ferguson is. People that are tuning in to watch this fight. But Gaethje, kind of bring us into Gaethje's camp a little bit, maybe in a little more detail.
Well, I mean, first of all, Gaethje's camp is probably very, organized, smart game plans or whatnot. But it doesn't matter if the fight actually happens because I think he throws out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaethje is haymakers. He's trying to kill you and take a shot. He'll take 2. He'll take 3 to give 1. you know,
Right.
and that's what makes this fight exciting.
Mm-hmm.
This is where to see that.
It's interesting that Gaethje said, knowing what we know about Tony and Khabib, he leading up, he said that he took the Tony fight very short notice. But with Khabib, he said I'd need at least 10 weeks. What do you think that says about those other two fighters? What do you think that says about Tony or Khabib?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. His. Jeez.
Do you think I don't know? Do you think it's more interesting that he's fighting? I don't know. I don't even know how to phrase this question. But who does he have a better chance against? Gaethje.
Huh?
Who does he have a better chance against Tony or Khabib? In a vacuum, who does he have a better chance against?
Jesus Christ! I mean, dude, Gaethje he's there, man. He's there against both.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick between who he have a better chance with.
Mm-hmm. Because we're here now, like the whole UFC watching world, the whole MMA world we've been kind of lamenting. If we're being honest, a lot of us have been lamenting the fact that we're not seeing the fight that's been canceled now for 5 straight, 6 straight.
Yeah.
But it's like we're here now. There's this fighter that has taken the fight at a moment's notice, short 9 days notice, and he's shown up. He's shown up to the battlefield. We're here now. We may as well anticipate the fight. And I guess the underlying question is, who does this fight mean more for, and who is the pressure on? Absolutely, in my opinion, no doubt, there's more pressure on Tony to complete that narrative, not only to demolish Gaethje, because he has, if he comes out in dominant fashion, that puts the stakes of Khabib fight
on Khabib,
on another level. You know, as if it needed more levels.
Yes.
As if it needed more stakes.
Yeah. And what you're saying is true. It's all true. But how funny would if Justin Gaethje just everything right forever?
What's the likelihood? What's the over under? I'm gonna check right now. Over under of Gaethje.
Yeah, I mean it's rough. I'm pretty sure the Ferguson
249. And it's just because it's such an odd scenario. You're taking everything into account. You're taking preparation. You're taking the situation that we're all in. Yeah. Just looking at OddsShark right now, we're looking at Tony's minus 140, Justin Gaethje's plus 155. Yeah. Do you think those numbers are pretty even and fair?
It's pretty even, yeah. But Tony's the favorite, yeah.
Tony is the favorite. Tony, is this one of those matchups? You're still not picking a side, right? You're still not. And when I say picking a side, you don't want heavily any side to win, right? Are you?
No, not at all.
I don't know, man. For me, I'm.
Who do you got?
Admittedly,
is the pick?
This is both the pick and like the emotional pick. In order to see that fight that we all want to see, Tony must prevail, and Tony must demolish.
That's true. Okay.
If it comes down to decision, I don't know what that says, but I don't think. First of all, do you think it will be a decision?
I hope not.
Do you think
these guys are gonna be exhausted at the end?
What are your what's your take? Do you think Gaethje?
I go only because I want to stir the pot.
You want to stir
controversy. I want someone to come in and fuck everything up that we all want. We've all been so bad. I want Justin by knockout.
You want Gaethje by knockout, and that could be.
It's possible.
So let's follow that let's follow that reality just for a little bit. Say Gaethje does stir the pot. What happens then?
It's Gaethje Khabib.
Easily?
Oh, easy. No, that's it. Because this fight is for the interim lightweight championship. Whoever wins this fight is fighting the champion. The champion is Khabib. If Gaethje wins, he's fighting Khabib.
So what you're saying is you're okay with either or. You're okay with.
I am definitely good with either or. This fight is so good, but I'm definitely okay with either. I'll take either one. I'll be happy with you.
You're happy with either one. We've seen that Khabib has come out and say, Uh, Ramadan ends in a little bit. I'll be ready come July.
Yeah.
Okay. So theoretically, I don't know. It seems to the way the situation seems to be playing out is people are it's slowly coming back. We're slowly starting to get to normal.
Mm.
Regardless of the outcome, when do you think we'll actually see Khabib versus whoever wins of this fight?
Ugh. Gee, I don't know. September. I don't know.
September.
Wait, hold on. What?
September for a comeback?
May. June. Yeah, August. Yeah, August, September.
Here, Khabib's tweet. His Twitter. I can fight anytime. Ramadan finished 23 in May. July, I'm gonna be ready.
Just send me location.
Stop talking about me. Stop talking about me. This is Corona time. When Khabib time come, I smash all of them.
Dude, Khabib time is tiramisu time, baby.
Tiramisu time. I only just figured out what that was like a month and a half ago. He missed weight and like
And that week he was eating tiramisu.
Oh my god. Yeah. So you think it could be because when the fight was initially canceled, I was texting you at the time. I was saying, dude, they should have just waited. They had the matchup. There's no reason to rush it. Like they should have just waited till November or December to like get that. That's a far, in my opinion, at the time, that was a far enough window to see how things would change.
Okay.
But in a way, it's a kind of a good thing that they're not fighting under these circumstances. Because I feel like if they are going to fight, if Tony and Khabib are going to fight, or if Gaethje pulls out, if they are going to fight, if Khabib is going to fight, I don't want it to be in this kind of setting. I want it to be full fans. I want it to be loud and crystal clear, But what we're getting is what we're getting, and what we're getting is UFC 249.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. If Ferguson wins, which is, I'm rooting for both. I don't care who wins. If Ferguson wins, that builds up Ferguson Khabib even more so.
Intensely.
And the only reason why I engage you to win is because he's gonna fuck it all. He's gonna ruin this. LeBron James, Golden State Warriors, from being the greatest team of all time, from coming back 3-1.
You're putting it on that scale. You're putting it on that level of mess.
Is it not? Think about it. If the
Gaethje
Warriors
isn't LeBron James.
Sorry, there's a whole nother, there's another can of worms. LeBron James beat the Warriors in the finals, 2016. If the Warriors won that had been a unanimous, easy pick to the greatest team.
I agree, but I don't know. With Gaethje, it's almost like, I don't know. If he wins, then we'll embrace the topic. But for me, it's if this was someone like Conor or, had Cowboy been on his stride, I might see more your point. Because the fight that everyone's been wanting to see for 5-6 years now has been this. Yes. And there's really been no one to come in and change that argument. But the basketball, I like what you're saying, though. That actually puts more stakes on what's going to happen tomorrow.
It's just like someone that is kind of putting... LeBron James is... It's another conversation because he's one of the greatest. Yeah. But to have somebody come in, maybe you can't put that in the same category as Justin Gaethje, but just have someone just come in, stir the pot, and kind of just like fuck up everyone's plans. I think that's interesting.
We will see. So your final pick, you are going with Gaethje.
I'm going with Gaethje.
You're going with Gaethje. I'm going with Tony, both emotionally.
That's a good pick.
And in logistical wise. All right, Eric, that is the UFC 249 preview. Do you have anything more you'd like to add?
A little bit. Happy that we tried our best to cut it down to as much as we can, and looks like we've cut it down to 8. Still passing out.
I don't care, man. It's the UFC. This is the biggest thing in sports, in my opinion.
Yes,
it's
true that. Yeah.
The fact that it isn't getting more coverage, maybe it says something about how popular UFC.
It's getting some coverage. They might break pay-per-view records just because there's literally
nothing else. Nothing else,
Yeah.
And it's talk about. And this is the thing. Last thing I wanted to maybe bring up is the fact that other leagues may use this as like a pH meter of how to go about broadcasting their sports, and because there's talks about, I mean, the NFL schedule just came out today or yesterday,
Yeah.
and in the NBA they're thinking, all rumors at this point, but they just started opening up their facilities for players to go in to use with some restrictions, and then there's talk about them all just gathering on freaking Disney World, and like going playoff style, which I'm all for. Now, maybe last one before we wrap up UFC. How do you think this is gonna change the way sports goes for this year? Because at some point it's gonna come back to normal, right?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully this will be a little bit of motivation.
Yeah.
Realize that it's doable. But I'll tell you what, man. Like, watching WWE's to watch.
WWE's what to watch?
It's painful. It's painful to watch them.
Without the fans, right?
UFC is not going to be that much better, but it's still going to be interesting. Like, we need, like, basketball. We'll see, dude. It's just.
I just think the one place that it could be the one facet that it could be fascinating, and I think I'll end on this, is the fact that we are going to get to hear, and depending on how much they mic up that venue, we're gonna get to hear a lot. It'll be a la Tough, a la, just that venue in Nevada where you can hear the arena, the venue, or the cage literally shaking.
You hear the foot stomps. You hear the ice.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be amazing.
Which is just like, I sent you a text about the Olympics basketball. The Olympics, they've been reposting their basketball in full HD, but with no commentary. And I tell you, it's interesting as all hell. Because you can hear, dude, in the 2008 one, you could hear LeBron, like, just shouting out orders. You could hear Coach K screaming and, like, cursing on the bench. And, like, you could hear everything. To me, I actually prefer that. I want that.
That's amazing.
I want that as a viewing option to, like, hey, give me just.
I mean, that's more so. I mean, you're a little more into it. You're a little more knowledgeable about what's going on. But
either way, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I don't have a problem with hearing Joe Rogan. Are you kidding me? Like, I'd watch him commentate basketball. That'd be a hell of a time to see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This guy's got a lot of energy. He must take a lot of shroom tech on it. But yeah.
He should try out DMT. Anyway, we've reached the end of UFC 249. If you've listened this long, I want to thank you for tuning in. Do tune in to tomorrow's UFC 249. Let us know what your thoughts are. And if you'd like to, for us to talk about anything in particular, feel free to comment down below or send an email to crunchymedicine@gmail.com. Eric, it's been a pleasure, man. You want to plug yourself one more time?
Jeez, y'all. Don't, if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button, okay? It's free. Just do it. There's nothing I need to plug.
There's nothing you need to plug?
This is great.
All right. Well, that concludes our stream. We'll see you guys on Monday, and we talk about hopefully what happened here. It might have to be a two-part, because I don't know if we can do the Last Dance and the UFC. Maybe, because the.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. It might be a
also,
two-part.
I mean, we just talk way too much, but yeah. Let's do it.
Anyway, folks, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on